money, time, autonomy, and flexibility. If you are lacking in any one of those areas with your employment, you're going to want to hear what I have to say. My name is Kevin, and I'm a CPA, and I own and manage 6- and 7-figure firms in Canada. And what I can tell you is 20 years ago, all 4 of those words meant everything to me because I was lacking in all 4. Let me get back to the beginning, and I will explain to you exactly what I'm talking about. If you have a CPA, if you are a CPA, then you know the kind of work it takes in order to get that CPA. It takes commitment, it takes studying, it takes exam writing, it takes essay writing, assignment writing, all that. And it takes quite a number of years. But once you get that designation, you can now send out your resume, and chances are you're either going to work in industry or you're going to work in public practice. But the bottom line is you're going to be making some pretty decent money. You're going to be in around $70,000 upwards to about $125,000. The lucky few of us will be upwards of about $250,000 plus. But that's not all of us, and it's not many of us. It's the lucky few. So here's the issue. Here's what I wanted to bring to your attention. Once you get your job, after you've done your designation, you get your job, you feel like you're on top of the world, you're making good money. Those 4 words that I talked about, money, time, autonomy, and flexibility, everything's going exactly the way it should. Now let's fast forward 2, 3, 4, 5 years into your career. That's when you start to realize that the money you're making, you've pretty much capped out. I mean, yes, there's going to be the odd extra bonus here and there and a slight increase in your wage, but for the most part, you're in around where you are. And that's not going to be too much over 125, if that. The hours you're working, you're going to be working easily 8+ hours a day, easily 40 hours plus a week. The autonomy, some of us will have some power to make some choices in our roles, some of us will not. So that's not a guarantee. And the flexibility, what do I mean when I say flexibility? I'm talking about the flexibility of when your kid has either a hockey game or a play in the middle of the week, can you duck out to go to that? And I'm thinking for a lot of us, the answer to that is no, I can't. So with all that said, you may be wondering, okay, well, I work all this time on my degree. I spend all this time on my degree. I'm in a fairly high level job here. What have I done it all for? Like, there's got to be more to it than that. And what I will tell you is our CPAs are very, very powerful degrees. But the reality is many of us don't know that. And many of us don't know how to tap into the power of that designation. I was in that boat about 20 years ago. My wife and I, we had 3 kids. Our oldest was our daughter, and at that time, she was about 15. And I was working on some numbers, trying to figure out, okay, in the next year or so, she's going to need a vehicle. She's not going to be able to buy one with her job at McDonald's, obviously. And what I was making, at the time, I was making not decent money. I was making about $110,000 a year, which was not bad. But I couldn't make it work with the mortgage we had, with the food, with the insurance, with the car payments, all that stuff. I could not make it work in terms of being able to assist her in purchasing a vehicle. And that's where I knew at that time something has got to change, because I'm not going to continue living my life like this. We've got 2 more kids that are coming up right behind her. And I want to be able to provide for them. I want to be able to provide for my wife and myself. I've got things I want to buy as well, and things I want to do in life and that sort of thing. And even though that degree, that CPA, took a very long time to get and is a very powerful degree, it's only going to get you so far if you don't make it work for you. What do I mean by that? Well, like I say, about 20 years ago, I was able to unlock the riddle, if you want to call it that, and tap into earning 3, 4, 5 times what I was making at the time. And I did that within 12 months of starting my new venture. What did that do for me? Money, no longer an issue. That's off the table. Time, well, the time was entirely up to me. Do I want to spend 8 hours a day working? Do I want to spend 3 days a week? Do I want every Friday off? Do I want every second Monday off? Do I only want to work 3 days a week and make decent money? More money than what I was making in my job previous to this. That's entirely up to you. So the money was covered, the time was covered. What about autonomy? What I'm talking about in terms of the opportunities, you will have 100% autonomy of everything that goes on in your business. Now, with that said, I say that with a bit of caution, because the reality is you don't want it 100%. You want to get some good people on board with you, and you want to delegate and allow them to delegate tasks that need to be completed. And the fourth one, flexibility, I can tell you this. Two of my kids played hockey. My daughter was into horses. And we were able to attend the majority of the sessions that they had, be it a hockey game, a practice, be it a riding practice or an event or whatever the case may be. And it didn't even matter when it was held, because for the most part, if I needed Monday off, I took Monday off. If I needed Wednesday off, I took Wednesday off. If I needed the whole week off, I could take the whole week off. I was in control of how much time I worked and how much time I didn't work. Now, if what I'm talking about interests you, and if you feel that you are in that situation where you've slogged it out, you got your degree, you got your CPA, you got your job that originally you thought was going to be your dream job, and it turned out not quite to be so, then you might be interested in what I have to offer in terms of my experience and what I have been able to achieve through the opportunities that my CPA afforded me when I made my CPA work for me. Now, when I talk about our CPAs working for us, what I'm getting at is that we need to get out of this 9 to 5, Monday to Friday type of mentality. And we need to realize that with that designation, we can be more than just working for somebody else. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong working for somebody else, because what I'll tell you, for those of you when I touched on those 5 words, be it money, time, autonomy, and flexibility, if in your world those 4 things are working perfect for you, you can turn the video off, no problem. I'm talking to the people where any one of those 4 words is an issue or a concern for you. You're going to want to stay tuned. And the reason I say that is because the offering or the opportunity that exists for you will take care of those 4 words like that. Within 12 months, I was able to deal with the money, the time, the autonomy, and the flexibility. Now, if this sounds like something that you may be interested in, I've got all my information listed below. Feel free to hit me up and we can get into this a little deeper and with a little more detail. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye for now.